Hi guys, welcome back to Be Adventures on location in Makati, Manila. This location is actually somewhat unique because I'm at La Casita Bed and Breakfast, or La Casita Mercedes, and it's a very nice quiet area, as you can tell. But just, you know, a block down there you can go get the action on P. Burgos Street. So I'll just sort of round up my trip. I just want to sort of finish up because it's coming to an end. This will be my last day, so I guess sharing final thoughts, things I might have covered already, but just, hey, why not while I'm still in this beautiful colonial house and on location. So I'm certainly very grateful and very fortunate that I got to take such a long trip and tour the whole country. This for me was the final spots that I wanted to see. So some of them were spots where I'd been wanting to go for years. So it was like, finally I got to tour the whole of the Philippines. There's so many more places I could see and still want to see, but I pretty much hit all the major locations that I wanted to. So for me it was very fulfilling, just on a personal sense. We got a thunderstorm coming in, so forgive me if I have to stop because of the rain or because of the thunder. But basically, we started off here in Manila. It was awesome meeting Travel Gretel, Lord and Aksana from Our Philippines TV. Great people, and just, you know, the YouTube friends. Spending more time here at La Casita now that it's finished, because I saw this place from when it was an abandoned, wrecked, haunted house to now this beautifully restored place. And it's very charming. I just love it. I love the charm of the place. The staff, especially Rachel, the manager, the current manager, great customer service, really attentive, really took care of everything, and great value for money because they include breakfast and things like that, and free internet. What else? Yeah, hanging out in Manila was great, of course, seeing the friends and of course enjoying the infrastructure. I might talk more about that later. Then we went up to Pampanga, Angeles City specifically. Forgive my pronunciation. Locals make fun of me. They say Angeles, or however they like to say it. But Angeles City or Angeles City. I had no interest to go there previously because it's infamous for being a red light city. But it's just one street, walking street, or whatever you call it, or Fields Avenue, or whatever you call it. And that's only one part of the city. There's so much more, and there's plenty of people. So, and there's the wider Pampanga area, meaning you got Angeles City, and then the wider Pampanga, you got mountains, waterfalls, and I only discovered that as I was leaving. So had I known that, I actually would have spent more time up there, or just exploring the northern Luzon region, because I like outdoor stuff. So I was certainly pleasantly surprised to see that you can have a life in Angeles City, meeting Lucas Massa and Liz from Tok Tok Cali channel, those guys. I miss them. I miss you guys already, you know. They were such cool guys and very genuine, sincere people. And they're doing it. They're proving, hey, they moved to Philippines. They're from America. They're living here. They're not out being a tourist. They're not out partying. They're living here, having lives with their wives and their children. So for me, you know, I still got to do a lot of great tourist stuff and adventures and activities. That's what I love, you know, Be Adventures. But also, it was very nice to see what it's like to actually live here, but have those deeper conversations and spend that time. Just spend that time with nice people, you know, catching up with friends. Then we went on to Palawan. I love Palawan. I've been to that Puerto, Princesa and Honda Bay area before. I really liked that. But it was nice to see Coron for the first time. Very beautiful, especially for photography. Got some great shots. Loved Coron. El Nido, great for photography as well, but El Nido, I've already discussed the things that I did not like about it, where it's a small fishing village that's been overrun by tourists. So the infrastructure's not there, it's underdeveloped, and it's a remote area. I'm not saying it's bad, very beautiful place, but it was not a place designed for tourism. It's not like Boracay, for example, and Boracay is now overrun with tourists, okay? So I'm not saying they need to do anything about that, I'm just saying that was my experience. Then we went on to, what was it? We hit Cebu City for just a night, and then we went on to Bohol and Mactan. Not much to do in Mactan if you just want to float around, but if you have purpose, great for diving and snorkeling, island hopping, Lapu-Lapu Shrine. You know, there's a few other things. They have a really nice shopping mall, but I didn't get to check it out. I'm not sure what brand it is, but it's like a nice big shopping mall. But otherwise, yeah, Mactan is not suitable just to float around, you know. Bohol is nice, you know, that they got plenty of tourist attractions, Chocolate Hills. I've been waiting to see the Chocolate Hills for like 3 years, so it was nice to finally achieve that goal. And it's just the Chocolate Hills, very beautiful, but it's a bunch of hills, you know. And what else, you know, like the other activities we did. Bohol was very nice, people were very nice, very friendly, but again, kind of got bored there. I could have stayed there a week just doing touristy activities, but, you know, kind of bored just because there's not that much infrastructure and things. And then Cebu City, and then the Cebu wider provincial area. That was really nice. Again, the adventures, I wanted to go out adventuring more. We had a few misadventures where I couldn't complete my itinerary, where I wanted to see more of those attractions, but plenty of other people covered it. It was, you know, for myself, I just wanted to see like Osmina Peak and more islands, you know, like Sumilon Island, you know, blah blah blah. It's okay, it didn't work out, but a lot of lessons learned along the way. Still had adventures, even though they're misadventures. Like things like the flashlight. I know I talk about it so much. I was stuck in the jungle, no phone reception, no transport, literally on the road in the middle of nowhere. I had to use a flashlight to signal for help, and finally a bus saw, and a bus came. Luckily a nice air-conditioned bus. I just paid for a ticket and said, take me to Santander, take me to the closest, you know, a closest city. Or town, not even a city, just a town. And we had a great time in Santander. So we went with the flow, and it worked out. And you know, we were certainly well prepared for it. Then I, you know, spent some time in Cebu City, which was great. It was really nice just to actually just spend time in the city, just to see what it's like. Again, if I was to live there or whatever. Oh, sorry, and Ray and Vicky. Sorry, I nearly forgot. Ray and Vicky in Puerto, Princesa, Palawan. Thank you so much. Again, great YouTubers, but also expats. You know, American who married a Filipino. They have a successful marriage and they're living happily in Palawan, you know. Again, talking about how they live and how they do it. They're really cool people and very, very hospitable and caring. Especially because like we were all sick. I was sick. I was with Seth and Lynn from Seth Style. You know, and Lynn was sick. So it was just nice to have some people we could trust and who were caring and helped take care of us. Yeah, but anyway, back to Cebu City. You know, so just another city. So for me, you know, again, I've covered all of this in other videos, you know, throughout the trip. I noticed the scarcity, meaning Manila is very, very well developed. It's a huge city. There are many parts, you know, old parts, new parts, run-down parts, you know, where they spread out. You know, there's the landmass spread out. And why I say that, like, say cities like Singapore, very small landmass, they built upwards. And their town planning had to be very, very careful and well thought out, because Singapore is such a small landmass. They had to make the most of their space. Where Manila, Cebu, you know, the cities, they just spread outwards rather than upwards. And the town planning wasn't really there. And I actually spoke to a town planner in Manila about that. So he said, yeah, it's something they're trying to address now, we're trying to improve. But because of that, they literally have these really big spread out cities. So my point is, you know, you got everything here, and you can see over the years, it's not just recent, generations of investment in this Manila and Luzon region, but specifically Manila City. And it's got all these things, nice things, like Bonifacio Global City, BGC, and you got here Makati, Manila. And you know, like you can just see there's that less scarcity, where in Cebu City and then the other provincial areas, it's like, you know, they're not as built up, you know, they don't have internet, they don't have phone signal. You just notice that the showers are more simple, the bathrooms are more simple, you know, the water pressure isn't there. There's constant brownouts or blackouts, meaning constant power outages. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying these are things you need to be aware of if you come to Philippines, that there may be provincial areas that are very beautiful, lovely people, but you may not have a phone signal. You may not have internet at all in that area. It's just not available because there's no internet infrastructure. No one has set up the cables, you know, the actual internet cables, you know, under the ground. There's no wireless broadcasting. And being an island country, Philippines is, you know, several thousand islands. It's very hard to set up that infrastructure when you have so many of these little islands everywhere. So don't get me wrong, the geography doesn't help either. So it was really interesting catching up with the friends last night, and one of them was an American, and two very nice Filipino friends here in Manila. And we're having these really nice conversations, and they're a bit older. And that American friend, he's been traveling here 4 years like me. And he, you know, we had this discussion that, you know, it's sort of like culture shock, where it's like, you know, we go to America, we go to Singapore, we go to Australia, and things are nice, and we're not suffering from developing problems, meaning we have education, we have food, you know, we don't have street children begging and coming into restaurants begging and things like that. Where, you know, we have problems too, but different problems. This is still a developing country. And because of that, this American friend was like, we're talking about the frustrations of that. It's as silly to us. It's as silly. People just try. People come up and ask for 100,000 pesos. And he was trying to do business here. He was actually trying to do business projects here to employ people. And he was like, hey guys, I'm trying to employ you and create some projects here. And people were like, no, I want 30,000 US. I want 30,000 US salary, you know. And he's like, but you know that's not correct, you know. I'll pay you in pesos, you know. I'll pay you your normal Filipino salary in pesos. And you know, people try and they hustle. And I'm not saying people are bad, okay, but it's just something, you know, you should be aware of. It's not like you just come here with your dollars going, hey, I'm going to be this big kingpin. You will lose it all. They will see that, they will target you, and you will lose it all. Or people will try. Even like the incident I had in Mango Square in Cebu City, where a girl was saying, hey, let's get out of here, I want to go with you. I went, hey, cool. So we're getting out of the club. I thought she was a local girl, dressed in a singlet and denim shorts, and it was a very long singlet, meaning she looked very conservative. She wasn't wearing makeup. Seems like a cool local girl. She said she's a college student. So it seems like a cool local college student, right? All honest and you know, sweet. We go outside. She goes, just before we go any further, you have to pay. You know. I said, and you got to understand, guys. I was just testing her. I wanted to see what she said. You know, for me, it was like an experiment. I was just testing what girls would say, and who was working as a freelance prostitute and who was not. So for me, I was just testing it and covering it for you guys. And she said 1 million pesos, which is ridiculous, right? But that's why I said, okay, no, get serious. That's why I wanted to see what she would say. Get serious. How much do you actually want? She was 1 million pesos, and it's like, you know, I had this discussion with Seth from Seth Style. He's obsessed with prostitution. You know, so he just loves the topic. I'm just saying he loves the topic, so he likes to talk about it a lot, and he gets really into it. Not that he's a bad person, he's a good guy, he's my friend, Seth and Lynn from Seth Style. But it's just something he's interested in, you know, like the gritty side of things. So my point is, you know, we came to the conclusion she was just trying. She's a hustler. She's a college student, young, bit silly, just saying, hey, maybe I'll try and get 1 million pesos from this foreigner. You know, it's stupid. It's silly, but people try. They try these crazy things, you know. Even the taxi driver, when I came in just recently to Manila, it's an official yellow airport taxi. He's heavily regulated, meaning he can't cheat me or whatever. But the whole ride, oh, sir, how much money do you have? How much do you earn? Oh, I am suffering. Oh, I have 2 kids at college. Oh, I do not have money. Oh, I'm suffering. And the whole trip, he's hustling me, the whole trip, from the airport to Makati, Manila, whinging and complaining about how poor his life is and he's suffering. And I just went quiet. I just try not to answer much, you know, I don't know, you know. You know, and that's probably one of the best things you can do. How much money do you have? That's what he's asking me. I said, I don't know. He says, what do you mean you don't know? I said, I don't know. And just went quiet, you know. Don't even answer the question. Don't get involved in the scam. Don't get involved in the hustle. You know, you don't have to. Even things like upselling, that's a big problem. Like you might order 1 drink, but then suddenly they bring a bucket of 5 drinks. And you go, no, I only ordered 1. But they've put you in this awkward situation where they go, well, we already opened the bottles. We already brought you a bucket of drinks that are open. You have to pay for them now. And saying, no, I ordered 1. Take your 1 drink and say, I'll only pay for 1. Or local Filipinos will try to do that same trick to you. You're with your friend, you order 2 drinks. Suddenly they bring a bucket or a platter or something ridiculous. Send it back or say, no, I'll only pay for what I ordered. And yes, it will cause an awkward situation and they'll start going crazy, or they might even say, oh, you're a rich foreigner, and you don't have to put up with it. You can even just walk off. Okay, I know, and it is an awkward situation, but that is the extent that some people will go to. Not all, not everyone, but some. They try, you see what I mean? They try and hustle. And it's just that, so that's what I was getting at with this American friend. You know, we love it here. People are so nice and so friendly, but the extent that some people will take the hustle or the scam to is just amazing. You know, so even when he's here trying to create jobs, people just keep trying to hustle him to the point where the project closes. He won't finish the project, or he won't go ahead. And but that being said, I have noticed some changes. Like just the other night, you know, I just arrived and some ladyboys were getting arrested in P. Burgos Street. Now, why does that matter? I've been traveling here 4 years. I've never seen that before. Maybe it's just the timing, but it sort of shows things are kind of improving slowly but surely. Even the airport taxi scams were not as bad this trip. They were not as bad. There was even warning signs at the airport, Manila airport. So things are slowly improving, slowly changing. And even the businesses here, there's more and more of these little hipster drinking lounges or restaurants and pizza places and eateries. So what used to be a very, very red light area is now changing. And it's changing to be a bit, you know, a bit more respectable, a bit nicer. I'm not trying to say it's something that it's not, but I'm saying the demographics are changing. Okay guys, it started to rain, so I'm gonna finish up, but also so I don't babble on too long. What I was referring to before was just standards. And I guess that's really important because I get a lot of questions from people who are interested in visiting here for a long trip or even moving here long term, actually moving over here or retiring here. I guess what you need to consider is just standards. That applies anywhere, in America, Australia, Philippines. What is your standard? Or what standard can you handle? Come over here and test it first. Don't just move here. Come here, come here for a vacation or a trip or a longer trip in a couple of months or whatever. Just test it out. Just test it out for yourself and see, is it to your standard or what standard do you like? So if you're going to live here at an American standard or Australian standard, meaning like first class and everything's nice and fancy, well, it's probably going to be more expensive than back home. Okay? So you just need to work out what your standards are and what standard you would like to keep. And it might just be simple things like whether you just want to have your aircon and hot showers, just okay, so you spend the money to make sure you have that. Or if internet is important, again, you spend the money to have that luxury. Because a lot of these things are luxuries here in Philippines. A lot of people just don't get the internet thing. It's expensive and scarce in Philippines. Yes, there is internet here, but it doesn't work most of the time. That's changing. Just some recent news, the current president, he dropped the hammer and said, local vendors, improve the internet, or I'm going to invite foreign investors and foreign vendors and we're going to restart the internet in Philippines, you know. But just to, you know, give you a simple example right now at this point in time. So you may pay more for internet here, okay, because it's a luxury, all right? And it may be slower or unreliable, you know, just what's your standard, you know? And the same applies to traveling. So whether you're living here or just traveling on a vacation or something, what's your standard, you know? Are you going to be a cheap backpacker and live very simply? Or do you want to have some slightly nicer places or very nice places, you know? And that way you have the experience that you want. So again, it's not bad, it's just about standards, and I think a lot of people they don't think about that. They think they're going to come here and it's all sunshine and waterfalls, and there's plenty of that, you know, don't get me wrong, beautiful place, but you will have other frustrations and other challenges. Okay, so basically to sum up, I'm very grateful. Don't get me wrong guys, I'm very, very grateful and very thankful that I got to do this trip and meet so many great people and have some great experiences again and adventures. But it's like I've hit all the major locations. I've hit all the major regions and hit all the major locations that I want to see. I might come back in the near future, of course, who knows. But I think I might start exploring other countries as well. So it's been great here. Again, I may come back, who knows, very soon. But maybe it's time to start exploring other countries and just having adventures elsewhere, building up my travel experience. And also, I would love to explore Mindanao. I'd love to explore Mindanao. Just because it's so sort of underdeveloped, and I think in years to come there's huge potential, huge. And once the security situation is addressed, which I believe it will be in the years to come, the current president is very tough and very, very big about security and safety. That Mindanao region is really going to flourish and grow. Also Pampanga, so again, not just Angeles City, but the wider Pampanga region, I think that's got a huge potential and room to grow. I think that's really going to boom with more traffic coming through Clark Airport, and also just, you know, more investment and more things going on there. And there's people already living there, like my friends Les and Lucas. Alright guys, thanks for watching, thanks for listening to me Babylon. You know, I hope maybe some of you might have learned something or found something useful from it. And yeah, I'm just going to chill out the rest of the day and get ready for my international flight. I've been working for so long for a real me.